Hey y'all, happy Wednesday from Charleston. Today we're gonna connect on due diligence and the due diligence period here in Charleston, South Carolina. And so with that, so what does that mean? So the due diligence period here means that the buyer is given, typically we see it anywhere from 7 to 10 business days. And during this time frame is when the buyer is going to get their inspections done. Okay, the period can be longer than 10 days. It also can be shorter than 7 days. That's just on average what we kind of see. It's a negotiation piece. So obviously the seller wants those days to be minimal, and the buyer wants enough time to be able to get their inspections done and then request repairs if need be. All right, so again, this time period is when the buyer will get their inspections completed. You'll get the report back. You'll review that report with your agent. You'll request any things from the seller that you'd like repaired, or possibly you just want a lump sum of money, whatever you agree to, that you'll do it within this period, okay? Now, within this period, if you do get out of the contract for whatever reason, being on the buyer's side, you will owe the seller a termination fee. Now, we are seeing these termination fees kind of all over the board. There's kind of no rhyme or reason for it. At the moment, we hope to see some type of normalcy come out of that. It's kind of a newer thing with our contract requesting this termination fee. But with that, we're seeing anywhere, obviously in relation to the price point of the home, but we're seeing anywhere from $250, $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 as a termination fee. And so let's say, just to give you an example, let's say that you are in your due diligence period, you get an inspection report back, there's something wrong with the foundation, the seller's not willing to fix it, you're not willing to do the work yourself either, and so you want to rescind your contract and get out. So you can get out of that contract, and you will owe the seller whatever termination fee has been agreed to upon termination of that contract, okay? And so they just range. It's a point of negotiation that you'll have to chat about with your agent. And so then to back up, let's say that we have a 10-day due diligence and we agree to repairs or a lump sum of money on, call it day 7. Then once you sign that amendment and everyone agrees and everyone's initials are on there, then the due diligence period has expired and it's over and you're moving on, and that contingency no longer exists within your contract, okay? So due diligence, it protects buyers, so sellers don't love it, is what it is. And you can offer zero due diligence. So let's say you're in a highly competitive market, you're in multiple offers, you can say no due diligence. Now that doesn't mean you're not gonna get an inspection. You should always get an inspection, literally always. Like don't not get an inspection. That would just be silly. But you can say no due diligence, meaning I basically can't back out of the contract for any reason. Again, there are some other contingencies within the contract, but specifically for due diligence, you wouldn't be able to get out of the contract for that reason. So there are ways to negotiate this so that it's advantageous for both parties. Make sure you hire an agent that knows what they're doing. And as always, if you have any questions, connect with me directly. I'd be happy to help. The due diligence period exists in a lot of states. It exists in Atlanta, where I sold before Charleston, so I know that. So if you need help with anything, let me know. And if you guys ever want to see anything else on these videos that you'd like answered, just connect with me. Love to help you out. And I hope y'all have an awesome day, and I'll catch you next week.